We have 63 counts of violation right here. Your smug attitude won't save you this time. We have the evidence.
Blue strobes hit my bedroom ceiling like lightning, and I woke to boots on gravel and the smell of cold asphalt. A tow truck growled outside my townhouse at 4:27 a.m., chains scraping, while Karen from our HOA waved a clipboard like a sword. She shouted about violations. My porch light flicked on. I was barefoot, breath fogged in the air. She pointed at my license plate frame and the tiny crack in my mailbox and said, "Emergency board action." The driver reached for my car. I heard the metal click of the hook and felt that sick drop in my stomach you get right before a roller coaster plunge. That's how it started. Later, standing under the courthouse arch with coffee steam in my face, I said the words out loud to keep calm. HOA stormed the courthouse steps with 63 pages. Then I pulled the escrow file. That was the fight. On May 3rd, 2024, after weeks of threats, the HOA walked up those stone steps at 9:00 a.m., slapped down a stack of papers, and went for a lien in fines. The clerk set the stack on the counter, and the file landed with 63 pages. They wanted $250 a day for the mailbox, plus a special assessment for $5,000. My hands shook, but not from fear. From anger, from cold, and maybe the coffee. I did try to reason. I sent emails. I called the office. I knocked on doors. Neighbors peered through blinds like a storm was passing. At the next board meeting, I stood at the plastic podium. Karen smirked and read from a script. My 3 minutes expired while she clicked her pen, and the treasurer stared at the wall clock. A man in the back whispered, "Don't fight them." Another said, "I don't want trouble." I left with a pink slip taped to my door and a new threat of booting. Timeline item 1, April 5, at 4:27 a.m., false trespass call. That was the first time the patrol lights painted my living room. I wrote it all down. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted, I told them. They rolled their eyes, so I drew a line. No yelling, no stunts, only proper channels. I cleared my dining table and laid out the map. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I marked dates in thick black ink. I pulled the recorded CC&Rs. I read every boring page. I bookmarked the bylaws like they were a mystery novel. My heart beat fast when I found 2 odd things. The board had voted on the special assessment over email, not at a meeting, and the amendment that allowed daily fines after 24 hours. It was never recorded with the county. Then I called my title company. I asked for my closing packet. When the escrow runner set it on the counter, I felt the weight of it. Receipts, insurance, addenda, disclosures. In the escrow file was a letter from the developer dated September 12, 2019, that said the HOA's enforcement policy required a hearing before fines. No hearing ever happened. I smiled for the first time in weeks. The twist came on those same courthouse steps 1 week later. Karen arrived in heels that clicked like a metronome. Cameras from 3 phones were already up because I had told neighbors I would file a response. I wore my quiet clothes. No drama. I held 2 thin folders. One was my timeline. One was the escrow file. I waited until the HOA stack hit the counter again. Then I stepped forward, slid my folders to the clerk, and spoke in a steady voice so it would land in the record. The amendment that allows these fines is not recorded. Here are the county index prints. The special assessment vote happened by email in between March 28th at 9:14 p.m. and March 29th at 6:07 a.m., with only 2 board members. Here are the screenshots and the meeting notices. The escrow documents show the developer's original enforcement policy requires a hearing and 30 days to cure. You skipped both? The clerk looked at Karen. Karen's smile bent. Papers rustled. A gust of wind lifted one of their exhibits and sent it skittering down the steps like a white bird trying to fly. People started filming for real when Karen tried to scold me on the sidewalk. It backfired. A neighbor laughed. Someone said, "Say cheese?" Another read out loud the fines list and cackled at the grainy photo of my mailbox crack. Comments popped on our HOA Facebook page by that afternoon. One read, "This is why you don't vote over email." Another said, "I'm bringing popcorn to the next meeting." My favorite was a slow clap emoji chain that went on for 11 comments straight. Folks who used to hide behind curtains now waved at me when I walked the dog. The tow truck never came back. Even the security patrol gave me a small nod that night. 2 days later, the inspector from the city showed up. Not for me, for them. A complaint had been filed about unpermitted cameras tucked in hedges near our pool. The inspector measured and asked for the permit numbers. Karen stammered. The cameras had been installed by the treasurer's cousin, cheap and fast. No permit. The inspector's pen scratched on the pad. At the emergency hearing, the judge skimmed my folders. He tapped the county index pages. He said in plain words so everyone could understand it. An HOA can only enforce rules that are properly adopted and recorded. It was like the air changed. Even Karen could feel it. The judge set aside the lien request, froze the fines, and told the board to hold a real meeting with a real vote. He ordered them to stop contacting the tow company about my car. The bailiff called the next case. I exhaled for the first time in a month. After that, peace felt loud. Morning smelled like wet grass again, not rubber. The board replaced the mailbox rule with a fix-it policy. The special assessment got redone with a real quorum. It passed at a lower number after the contractor bid went public. The cameras came down and went back up with permits. Karen, she lost the gavel. The board voted in a new president and gave her a reprimand for misuse of authority and improper recordings. Consequences, not revenge. On July 1st at 5:30 p.m., she walked past me to the parking lot, eyes on her phone, face red like a stop sign. I almost felt bad. Almost. Then my next-door neighbor, Mr. Lee, waved me over and handed me a paper cup of iced tea. He said you did it the right way. I said that was the point. We sat on the steps in the warm light and watched kids ride scooters in a quiet loop. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.